Winter, a time of cold and darkness. Yet, amidst the stark landscape, a beacon of hope persists. Evergreen trees stand tall, their vibrant green a stark contrast to the slumbering world around them. These trees, untouched by winter's chill, have captivated humanity for centuries. Their resilience in the face of adversity, their enduring color, spoke of life, of hope, of renewal. Long before the twinkling lights and shimmering baubles, ancient civilizations recognized the profound symbolism of evergreens. These trees were more than just decorations. They held deep cultural and spiritual significance. They were woven into the very fabric of ancient celebrations, marking the passage of seasons and offering comfort during the darkest depths of winter. Imagine a world lit by flickering firelight, where ancient peoples huddled together seeking solace from the cold. The air is thick with the scent of pine needles and the sound of crackling flames. In this primal setting, the evergreen tree, adorned with simple offerings, stood as a symbol of hope, a promise that spring would return. This reverence for evergreens transcended geographical boundaries. From the sun-drenched sands of Egypt to the snow-laden forests of northern Europe, these trees found their place in the hearts and homes of people from diverse cultures. Imagine the ancient land of Egypt, bathed in golden sunlight, where the Nile River brings life to the desert. Here the sun was a god, Ra. With a hawk's head and sun-disk crown, Ra ruled the heavens. As winter solstice approached, Egyptians observed with anticipation. The weakening sun signaled Ra's waning power. Rituals and offerings ensured Ra's return. Greenery symbolized life's resilience. Thriving plants reminded them of Ra's power. A journey now from the sun-drenched lands of Egypt to the heart of the Roman Empire. A civilization known for its military prowess, its architectural marvels, and its vibrant festivals. As the winter solstice approached, the Romans prepared for Saturnalia, a week-long celebration in honor of Saturn, the god of agriculture and harvest. Saturnalia was a time for feasting and merriment, a time when social norms were relaxed and even slaves were allowed to participate in the revelry. Homes and temples were adorned with festive decorations and gifts were exchanged. And amidst this joyous celebration, evergreen boughs played a significant role. Just as the Egyptians saw in evergreens a symbol of Ra's enduring power, the Romans associated these resilient plants with the promise of agricultural abundance. The evergreen boughs, hung over doorways and draped around columns, served as potent reminders of Saturn's benevolence, a promise that spring would return, bringing with it renewed fertility to the land. Venture now to the northern reaches of Europe, a land of dense forests, icy fjords, and long winter nights. Here, amidst the towering evergreens, lived the Celts and Vikings, known for their intricate myths and deep connection to nature. The winter solstice was a time of reverence and hope, celebrating the sun's return and spring's rebirth. The Druids revered evergreens as symbols of everlasting life. Mistletoe, staying green in winter, was believed to ward off evil spirits and bring good luck. The Vikings associated evergreens with Balder, a god of light and joy. Balder's resurrection symbolized the triumph of light over darkness and the promise of spring's return. Our journey takes us to Germany, often credited as the birthplace of the Christmas tree. Here, the tradition of bringing decorated trees into homes during Christmas took root. Imagine 16th century Germany with towns adorned for Christmas. The air is filled with the scent of roasted chestnuts and the sound of carolers. Families gather around the Christmas tree, a central figure in their homes. Evergreen branches are adorned with apples, nuts, and colourful ornaments. As the Christmas tree tradition gained popularity in Germany, a pivotal figure emerged, one whose influence would shape the way we view Christmas trees even today. Martin Luther, the 16th century Protestant reformer, is often credited with adding a magical element to the Christmas tree, the warm, inviting glow of candlelight. Legend has it that one winter evening, as Luther walked home beneath a starlit sky, he was struck by the beauty of the evergreen trees, their branches dusted with snow, silhouetted against the celestial tapestry above. The sight of the stars twinkling amidst the branches sparked an idea, a desire to recreate this magical scene for his family. Upon returning home, Luther, filled with inspiration, erected a tree in his home and carefully attached lighted candles to its branches. The flickering flames cast a warm glow on the faces of his family, mirroring the awe and wonder he had felt beneath the starlit sky. This simple act, born out of a desire to share the beauty of nature with his loved ones, would have a lasting impact on the Christmas tree tradition. The Christmas tree's journey from ancient pagan symbol to beloved Christian tradition is a fascinating tale of cultural adaptation and the evolution of beliefs. What was once revered for its association with ancient deities and solstice celebrations gradually became intertwined with the story of Christmas, its symbolism taking on new meaning within a Christian context. The evergreen's association with life, hope, and renewal, themes that resonated across cultures and across time, made it a natural fit for the Christmas celebration. The birth of Jesus, a time of hope and new beginnings, found a fitting symbol in the enduring greenery of the Christmas tree. The decorations adorning the tree also underwent a transformation, their symbolism shifting to reflect Christian beliefs. Apples, once representing fertility and abundance, became reminders of the Garden of Eden and the story of Adam and Eve. Wafers, later replaced by cookies and sweets, symbolized the Eucharist, the body of Christ. The star, traditionally placed atop the tree, took on a new meaning, representing the Star of Bethlehem, which guided the wise men to the birthplace of Jesus. While the Christmas tree tradition flourished in Germany, it faced a more hesitant reception across the Atlantic in the American colonies. The early settlers, many of whom were Puritans, held a dim view of Christmas celebrations, considering them frivolous and rooted in pagan traditions. The Puritans, known for their strict religious beliefs and austere lifestyle, frowned upon any form of merriment associated with Christmas. They viewed the holiday as a time for solemn reflection and prayer, not for feasting, gift-giving, or decorating trees. In fact, in some colonies, celebrating Christmas was outright banned. Any festivities met with fines and punishments. The Christmas tree, already carrying with it echoes of ancient pagan rituals, was seen as particularly objectionable by the Puritans. They viewed it as a frivolous distraction from the true meaning of Christmas, and a symbol of the very excesses they sought to avoid. As a result, the Christmas tree remained largely absent from American homes throughout the 17th and early 18th centuries. Imagine the bustling port cities of 19th century America, a melting pot of cultures where immigrants brought their traditions and unique perspectives. Among them were German immigrants, bringing with them the cherished tradition of the Christmas tree. The Christmas tree represented a link to their homeland and comfort in a new land. They decorated trees, casting a warm glow on familiar ornaments, whispering of home. However, the Christmas tree's reception in America was not universally welcome. The young nation, grappling with its identity, saw Puritan austerity clash with new traditions. The Christmas tree, with its pagan roots and association with celebration, was met with skepticism. To many it seemed peculiar, a conifer adorned with trinkets and flickering candles. It was a far cry from the restrained decorations favored by many Americans, sparking curiosity and confusion. The Puritan influence on early American society was profound, shaping not only religious practices but also social customs and attitudes towards celebration. For the Puritans, who had crossed the Atlantic seeking religious freedom and a life governed by piety and discipline, Christmas was a time for solemn reflection, a time to commemorate the birth of Christ through prayer and contemplation, not through frivolous festivities. The exuberant celebrations associated with Christmas in many parts of Europe, with their roots in pagan winter solstice rituals, were viewed with suspicion by the Puritans. They saw these traditions as distractions from the true meaning of Christmas, as potential avenues for sin and excess. In their eyes, the sacredness of the holiday was best honored through restraint and solemnity, not through merriment and revelry. The Christmas tree, with its colourful ornaments, flickering candles, and association with gift-giving, stood in stark contrast to the Puritans' vision of a pious and sombre Christmas. They saw it as a symbol of the very worldliness they sought to avoid, a frivolous distraction from the spiritual reflection that should define the holiday. Despite the Puritans' resistance, the Christmas tree gradually gained a foothold in American society, carried along by a wave of immigration that brought with it a kaleidoscope of traditions and customs. As more and more Germans, Irish, and other Europeans arrived on American shores, they brought with them their own cherished Christmas traditions, including the beloved Christmas tree. These immigrants, seeking a better life in the New World, clung to their traditions as a source of comfort and familiarity amidst the challenges of adapting to a new land. The Christmas tree, with its warm glow, its familiar ornaments, and its ability to transform a home into a cozy haven, held a particular significance for these newcomers, offering a tangible link to their homeland and a sense of continuity amidst change. As immigrant communities grew and interacted with their American neighbors, the Christmas tree began to pique the curiosity of those who had never encountered such a tradition before. By the mid-19th century, Christmas festivities and the once controversial Christmas tree gained acceptance in America. The Puritan grip loosened, embracing diverse cultural traditions. The Christmas tree became a symbol of American identity. Its popularity grew with consumer culture and media influence. The Christmas tree's journey mirrored America's transformation. Across the Atlantic, in the heart of the British Empire, another force was at play, one that would solidify the Christmas tree's place in both British and American homes. Queen Victoria, a beloved monarch known for her influence on fashion and social customs, would unknowingly become a trendsetter for Christmas celebrations. In 1848, a charming illustration appeared in the Illustrated London News, capturing the royal family gathered around a decorated Christmas tree. There, in the heart of Windsor Castle, stood Queen Victoria, her beloved husband, Prince Albert, and their children, their faces illuminated by the warm glow of the tree's candles. The image, full of warmth and familial joy, resonated with the British public. Queen Victoria, a symbol of tradition and respectability, had embraced the Christmas tree, a tradition brought to England by her German-born husband. What was once a novelty, a custom primarily observed by German immigrants, quickly gained widespread acceptance, becoming a symbol of Victorian Christmas cheer. As the Christmas tree gained popularity in America, it underwent a transformation, evolving from the modest, understated trees favored by early German immigrants to grander, more elaborate displays that reflected the nation's growing prosperity and penchant for extravagance. The small tabletop trees of earlier decades were replaced by towering evergreens that stretched from floor to ceiling, their branches laden with an abundance of ornaments, garlands, and trinkets. The simple homemade decorations of the past, while still cherished, were now augmented by mass-produced ornaments imported from Germany, their intricate designs and shimmering finishes, adding a touch of opulence to the holiday displays. The Christmas tree was no longer merely a decorative element, it was a focal point, a symbol of the family's status and their embrace of the holiday spirit. The act of decorating the tree became an event, a time for families to gather, share stories, and create lasting memories amidst a backdrop of twinkling lights and shimmering ornaments. As the 19th century drew to a close and a new century dawned, the Christmas tree continued to evolve. Mass production made ornaments more accessible. Handcrafted ornaments were joined by mass-produced ones. From German glass baubles to figural ornaments like Santa Claus, electric lights transformed the tree. It could now sparkle day and night, becoming an integral part of American holidays, a beacon of hope and joy during winter. Our journey through the history of the Christmas tree takes us to Rockefeller Center, where a towering evergreen stands each December, a beacon of hope and joy. The Rockefeller Center Christmas tree symbolizes American resilience, intertwined with the nation's triumphs and tragedies. In 1931, during the Great Depression, construction workers pooled their wages and bought a small Christmas tree. It symbolized hope amidst uncertainty. The sight lifted spirits, reminding us that the human spirit endures. From its humble beginnings as a symbol of hope during the Great Depression, the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree has evolved into a global spectacle, a cherished holiday tradition that captures the imagination of millions around the world. Each year, anticipation builds as people eagerly await the arrival of the tree, their eyes drawn to the towering evergreen that graces Rockefeller Plaza. And finally, on a designated evening, the switch is flipped and the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree bursts into life, signaling the start of the holiday season in New York City. From the snow-dusted forests of Germany to the sun-kissed shores of Brazil, the Christmas tree transcends boundaries, symbolizing hope and joy. In Mexico, families gather around nacimientos, adorned with miniature Christmas trees, their branches laden with handcrafted ornaments. In the Philippines, bamboo and paper become dazzling paroles, star lanterns that illuminate homes and streets, their intricate designs echoing traditional craftsmanship. In Sweden, families select their julgran, decorating it with straw ornaments. In Norway, the juletre takes center stage, with the tradition of circling the tree, uniting families in song and celebration. Across the globe, from cities to villages, families gather around their trees, faces illuminated by twinkling lights, hearts warmed by the season. The Christmas tree stands as a timeless symbol in a world of rapid change and uncertainty. Its beauty evokes wonder, tradition, and shared humanity. The Christmas tree reminds us of our common humanity, transcending cultural boundaries. It symbolizes hope, resilience, and the spirit of giving.